Yo, what is up, Kings? Today I want to discuss only stands. I want to talk about the phenomena of these only stands girls going on these podcasts, such as the Whatever Podcast, Fresh and Fit, and completely denying that they are sex workers. And even for myself, it took a little while to understand this. I used to be like, damn, what are they talking about? Of course it is. Of course it is. They're just lying to themselves. They're just being delusional. And the thing is that I came to find out, as I'm sure many of you have as well, they know that they're being delusional. They know that they're lying. They just don't care. That's the thing. They just don't care. They know their number one priority is to make money, to sell subscriptions. And whatever is required or needed to do that is what they are about. And if what is required to do that is to lie and say, no, this is not sex work. Because I saw that recently Andrew Wilson on the Whatever podcast, and there's a clip of him and Brixton talking to this girl who has OnlyStans, and they make the point that it is sex work. And she says, well, I don't have full nudes on there. I only do like bathing suit type stuff. And then, of course, later in the conversation, it comes out that no, she actually has an archive where if people pay extra, they will have the access to that archive. And of course, I'm sure it does have some of that more spicy content. And then one of her tags on one of her videos was like, subscribe and come, C-U-M-N-C, or something like that. You know, like being a little bit cheeky, being a little bit funny, being a little bit hysterical, over the top with the C-U-M, the come and C. And it's like, that's case in point. It is sex work, because ultimately what is sex work, and see, liberals and people who are liars and in the business of deceit will try to delineate the truth and try and parse it out to maximize their ability to stay within the bounds of truth. Okay? They will parse it out and say, well, no, this doesn't count. If I do this but don't do that, it doesn't count. It's not full-blown sex work. And the bottom line is, everybody knows that what counts as sex work is anybody who makes money off of their body, specifically towards the ends of men and or women receiving physical and sexual pleasure, whether it's physical or mental, from you, the use of your body, or the use of your God-given characteristics, whether it be your voice, because I even think that the BTSM, or not the BTSM, the fucking the whispering shit, I think it has a sexual component too. And so, at the end of the day, guys, these women know that they are lying. They just don't care. That's the thing. They don't care because they are not concerned with it. They know what they are far more concerned with is getting more subscriptions. That is what their concern is. So, I guess the reason why I'm making this video is to not make the mistake that I did of getting, like offended by this fact, understand it for what it is so you can attack it better. So you don't get so emotionally invested in their lies, because ultimately that's what they want you to do. They want you to get emotionally charged up so that you are now emotionally in some way invested in them, in their lie, and funnel you to their content, because that's literally what the girl did. She goes, no, I'm not a sex worker. Subscribe to my OnlyFans to find out if I'm a sex worker and see for yourself. That is the grift. That is the whole point of the lie. So don't get caught up in it, guys. And it just goes to show, man, in today's day and age, and I really do think that this is a side effect of consumerism, and this is why I no longer consider myself like a 1,000% capitalist. I mean, I do think by and large capitalism is the best economic structure, but I would not say that I'm like a staunch, die in the wool, neocon capitalist, where that is my number one priority at all costs. No, I consider myself far more of a social conservative than anything. So this is a downside of capitalism, is you end up having people much like I forget the movie that has the brother of Owen Wilson, and they fast forward to the future, and America's, it takes it to its logical conclusion of consumerism and what that will look like, and it's absolutely hilarious. I'm blanking on what the movie is called. That is, I really think that that's what we're headed to. Now, I think that our society will collapse or move into a different direction before it gets to that point. But if capitalism goes unchecked and continues on its trajectory, that is what we will, I think it's called idiocracy. That's what it's called. I think that is what we will head towards, is because we're already seeing it. We're seeing a society where making money is far more important than having honor, telling the truth, being good to your friends and families and to others who deserve it, respect, service, those types of things that in the past would definitely be at the forefront of society. Unfortunately, that's gone, guys, honestly. It really is. I mean, I hate to say it. I think that is the focal point of like America First and, the Christian social movement is getting back to a Christian fundamentalist society where we put some of these morals front and center rather than having this shit show that we have now, where people place profit, revenue, property, gain, materialist gain above everything. Because anytime I watch the Whatever podcast or I watch Fresh and Fit, at the core of these women is their feminine nature left unchecked, where they pursue all their deepest desires of power, materialism, and money, because that is a woman's natural state. Women look for provisions and protection. And so when left unchecked, you see what you see now, where, they inhabit, 90+% or whatever it is, the huge number of the debt in America, and they are willing to sell their body. Normal women willing to sell their body, their soul, for a little bit of cash. Now, sometimes it's a lot of cash, but it's just it's crazy, guys. It's absolutely insane. And now the good news is I can already see the uptick of our society, people starting to wake up and realize that ultimately that's a void and empty existence, because the purpose of our existence as human beings is a spiritual one, is a life centered around Christ and our relationship with Christ and biblical principles. It really is. That is where your fulfillment comes from, because when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to be thinking about the fucking Gucci bag that you had. Now, listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I obviously buy shit too. I'm not a what do they call it? The Aaron Clary. He is a minimalist. I wouldn't call myself a minimalist, but I also can see the trees from the forest. I can see the downside of valuing material goods over my soul, over more existential qualities. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy. Well, in fact, our feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you, kings. See you guys next time. Christ is King. Peace.